11 News. Coverage you can count on.
Steelworkers on strike. Union workers at Allegheny Technologies hit the picket line this morning. Union leaders say they had no other option, while ATI says they are incredibly disappointed. Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond has more on why workers walked off the job in the middle of a pandemic.
Out here in Brackenridge, steelworkers are on strike over what they call unfair labor practices. This group says it's personal, and memories of being locked out of work several years ago are coming back.
They woke up a sleeping bear.
Todd Barbio started working at Allegheny Technologies' Brackenridge facility 33 years ago. He says they haven't had a wage increase in 7 years and just want a fair contract with protected health benefits.
Everybody wants to get a pension and a retirement. They're trying to break it down into different tiers, as new hires don't get the same things that we had the benefits of. Health care is always an issue. That's a touchy subject for everybody.
The United Steelworkers Union and ATI continued negotiations last night. ATI says it'll continue negotiating in order to reach a competitive agreement that rewards hardworking employees. I sent an email to ATI. I also have a few phone calls out to the company, and I'll let you know what they have to say about this strike today at 5. Reporting in Harrison Township, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
Breaking now, Democratic state lawmakers continue their push for a minimum wage increase, and they want to make sure service industry workers who get tips are included. Right now, the tipped minimum wage is $2.83 a dollar. Representative Sarah Innamorato says that the wage for all workers has to get to $15 an hour, and tips would not go away.
When we're advocating for this, we're talking about a minimum wage and then tips on top, so that it's not required. You're not required to come in and do several hours of cleaning for $2.83 an hour where you don't even see any customers.
8 states have eliminated the tipped minimum wage and have one wage for everyone. And more details. Yesterday, we told you about a new push by 2 Republican lawmakers to increase the non-tipped minimum wage to $10 an hour tied to inflation. They say $15 is too much. One business owner on the South Side says any discussion of a wage increase should not be happening right now.
Everyone thinks this is a great idea, but if you look at the long run, it's going to hurt everything. We're going to have to bump our prices up again, and that might off some customers. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Supporters argue by the time the bill makes it to the governor's desk, restaurants will have been fully opened for some time. Greene County Regional Police are asking for help finding a teenager missing for 5 days now. 15-year-old Gage Frame has not been seen since last Friday. He was seen wearing a pink polo shirt and gray hoodie with sweatpants, and investigators say he may be riding a silver bike. Anyone with information is asked to call local police. Big announcement from President Biden. 90% of adults will be eligible for a COVID-19 vaccine in less than 3 weeks. He said there will be vaccination sites within 5 miles of their homes. Allegheny County is taking steps to speed up its process. It plans to launch a vaccine registration system this week. That would allow people to sign up to be vaccinated and receive notifications when they become eligible. The county is expanded to include anyone in Phase 1A. Officials hope the new system will reduce the number of canceled appointments. This is the first time since the winter surge that so many states, 31, have recorded a troubling rise in new COVID cases. Infections are up again 10% nationwide. The CDC director tried to keep her composure talking about the rise in case count.
I'm going to pause here. I'm going to lose the script, and I'm going to reflect on the recurring feeling I have of impending doom. We have so much to look forward to, so much promise and potential of where we are, and so much reason for hope. But right now, I'm scared.
Allegheny County Health Director Dr. Deborah Bogan says the spike is being seen in younger people as reports of large maskless get-togethers are becoming more frequent. We have continuing coverage online. Look for the latest under the Race to Vaccinate banner on the WPXI News app and WPXI.com. Pittsburgh police are looking for a shooter after a man was shot in the back in the Hill District. That victim was found at the corner of Webster Avenue and Lawson Street at around 11 last night. Medics got him to the hospital right away, and at last check, he was listed in critical condition. A house fire went up to 2 alarms in Penn Hills. Our photographer saw smoke coming from the house on St. Croix Drive this morning. No one was hurt, and the cause is under investigation. 2 firefighters were hurt battling this house fire in Millvale yesterday. One firefighter suffered burns, the other twisted an ankle. The police chief says a mother and her 2 teenagers were in the house on William Street. An officer helped get them out.
He did a great job, as with all of our officers. I'm proud of him. He's fairly new, but he's well trained and didn't hesitate, went in and encouraged them to get out.
The house was destroyed and the fire marshal is investigating. There's a new plan to transform the riverfront in Hazelwood. The goal is to make it a destination stop with boat docks, trails, and play areas. This is at the old Coke Works plant. Channel 11's Mike Holden got a closer look at the plans there.
A major beautification project is in the works right here at the Hazelwood Green. Developers are hoping to revitalize the riverfront and make it something for everyone for years to come. Embracing nature and looking toward the future. That is the aim of developers and community leaders who are laser focused on this area of the Mon River in Hazelwood. They're looking to improve a 1.3-mile-long stretch. They're currently asking for public opinion for a further master plan. However, their primary goal is to make the riverfront a destination for all. Some of the visions include more trails, boat docks, a floating pool, a riverfront plaza, and even playgrounds for kids. And they want to reconnect surrounding neighborhoods to the riverfront.
My hope is that it brings more shopping to the district and more parks. We need some parks over here for kids to play in.
I think it should be taken full advantage just so the community can integrate with the project, with the Hazelwood Green project.
And there is a public meeting coming up on April 7th via Zoom. We have all the details on how you can take part on WPXI.com and the WPXI News app. In the meantime, we're now talking with folks as well as community leaders about their hope for the Hazelwood riverfront, what they would like to see come here, and how they believe it could thrive in a post-COVID-19 era. For Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting in Hazelwood, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Pittsburgh will take center stage tomorrow when President Joe Biden unveils his Build Back Better economic plan during a visit. That package calls for roughly $3 trillion worth of new spending. Biden says the plan will create millions of jobs while giving America's working families the tools, choices, and freedom needed to boost the U.S. economy. It also calls for hundreds of billions in tax credits, something Republicans in D.C. are pouncing on. White House aides say the tax increases will target corporations and the wealthy without affecting people who make less than $400,000 a year. Well, much warmer today, plenty of sunshine, but Danielle, we better enjoy it today because it is not going to last.
Yeah, we've got some huge changes on the way, Gordon. Outside right now, beautiful sunshine. We've got a bit of a breeze, though, and wow, are the temperatures warming. 24-hour temperature change shows we are 24 degrees warmer than this time yesterday here in the city of Pittsburgh. It's 63 right now in the city, 64 in Greensburg, 64 in Indiana, and those winds I mentioned are getting up there. 24-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Pittsburgh and 25 in Greensburg. It is this southerly wind flow that is pumping up the temperatures for us, but it's also leading to an increase in the fire danger throughout the day. I'll have more on that. Plus, we'll take a look at when some rain and even some snow moves in this week. All still to come.
All right, thanks, Danielle. COVID-19 has separated families for so long, and while nursing homes are loosening the rules for visits, there are still some heartbreaking rules in place. Channel 11's Melanie Gillespie shows us the tough situation some families are dealing with.
Right when they said, listen, you can, go visit your family members, I was there at 9 o'clock in the morning, just like waiting, to see. I was so anxious.
The last time we heard from Corinne Boring, she was thrilled to start visiting her mom and grandpa again at the county-owned nursing homes they've been in since the pandemic started.
It's really upsetting. We waited so long. We waited a year, and, and finally here they're saying we can see them. And now they're saying that our children can't see them. I mean, I'm not understanding if we can wear a mask, why can't we see our loved ones?
Corinne found out not long after in-person visitation could resume outside and weather permitting that she can go, but her kids couldn't.
That was, heart-wrenching because we've been waiting for so long to, get together and see each other. And her to meet, her granddaughter, and my son to see her. So it's just really sad. It's heartbreaking.
The county-owned facility is only allowing kids 12 and older at the home.
County leaders say the guideline is more lenient than many other nursing homes in the county that only allowed kids 18 and older. Corinne managed to take her 3-year-old son to see his great-grandpa at Hempfield Manor right before the rule was put in place. But not knowing how long this could last, she's devastated for not only her mom, who hasn't seen her grandkids, but for her little ones who are missing memories with family.
I don't know how long this is going to go on for. I'm just hoping it's not another year. I mean, tomorrow's not promised.
County leaders say these are all a part of the guidelines set forth during the pandemic to allow in-person visitation to resume, and there's no word on how long it'll last.
It's really disgusting. Some days the smell is unbearable.
A stinky and disgusting problem. The local homeowner is trying to stop raw sewage from flowing into your yard and home. And a message of hate, the online meeting that got hijacked and has Pittsburgh University investigating.
Baby boy! Baby boy, hide me! He's coming!
A special reunion, how a local man helped police track down the man they say stole his dog. A woman was thrown from her car after a bad crash in Westmoreland County. State police say Barbara Hedbovny crashed into a culvert on Turkeytown Road in South Huntington this morning and flipped her car. The Finleyville woman was rushed to the hospital in a medical helicopter. We're working to find out how she is doing. The cause is under investigation. Some great news on Christian Switzer. His dad, former Pittsburgh Steeler Ryan Switzer, is tweeting the 9-month-old will make a full recovery after undergoing surgery. Christian was having bleeding issues. He's been in and out of the hospital since the beginning of March. Yesterday, he underwent a surgery in Boston, and Ryan tweeted, "The nightmare is over," and thanked all the doctors who were involved. An advocacy group has pressed pause on a complaint against an Allegheny County judge. The Abolitionist Law Center sued Judge Anthony Mariani, claiming that he failed to provide access to remote court proceedings. The group calls it a violation of the public's First Amendment right to court access. Our partners at the Trib learned that Judge Mariani granted access to all hearings a few days after the complaint was filed, and the center says they'll discontinue the lawsuit if access continues. A woman in Turtle Creek is dealing with a disgusting problem. Raw sewage is running down her yard and spilling into the street, and she believes it's now in her basement as well. She tells our Amy Hudak she contacted both the borough and the health department, but she can't get any solutions.
Most of us don't think twice when we flush the toilet. It's something so simple as the source of a sickening mess in one neighborhood, and nobody knows who's responsible.
It's disgusting. It's really disgusting. Some days the smell is unbearable.
What Karen Horvath is dealing with, I can't describe any other way than disgusting. Raw sewage is running down her Turtle Creek yard and spilling onto Seneca Street, where it's stinking up the whole neighborhood.
There's toilet paper and just sewage. But you can see the toilet paper running out, so you know what's going along with that.
Our photographer also immediately found the source and hooked up a GoPro. This is what we found: an exposed pipe hovering above the ground on the hill next to Horvath's house. Sewage trickling out of it. But that's the least of Horvath's worries.
It's like running. It just started running into my basement.
A water company is now testing what's floating in her basement. Horvath fears it's also sewage and says she's getting the runaround from everyone she calls.
The borough said they couldn't do anything, that it was a health department issue. So my daughter called the health department and they said, no, that's absolutely a borough issue.
I reached out to the borough of Turtle Creek, the mayor, even council members there, but couldn't get in touch with anyone. I felt Horvath's frustration. The health department immediately answered my calls and is in touch with Horvath, working to get to the bottom of this case. Even Senator Brewster's office is pledging to get answers, even making calls to the borough.
I want it fixed. Somebody take responsibility. I don't know who. Like I said, I don't know where it's coming from, but somebody can figure it out and have it fixed.
For Horvath, it's a start and hopefully the end to this nasty mess. In Turtle Creek, Amy Hudak, Channel 11 News.
The company that runs Latrobe's Brewery is going through a shakeup at the top. New investors have come into City Brewing. That's the company that produces Iron City and its line of beers. According to our trip partners, the new investors have restructured the management team and they will take over next month. This comes after Pittsburgh Brewing Company announced it will make Iron City at the former the PPG glass plant in Creighton next year. Iron City represents less than 3% of City Brewing's business in Latrobe, and the Milwaukee-based company is moving forward with a $630 million investment plan nationwide. Dramatic video captured the moment a building collapsed onto another building in Turkey after a controlled demolition went wrong. That building was being demolished after it was damaged in an earthquake last year, but instead of collapsing straight down as planned, you could see it fell onto the building next door. Fortunately, no one was hurt because all of the surrounding buildings had already been evacuated. How about this? Look right at the bottom of your screen. The world's most spectacular volleyball court hosted an impromptu game in front of an exploding volcano in Iceland. What else are you going to do there? Since the eruption on March 19th, sightseers have been flocking to the volcano. Most sit in awe at the amazing show, which becomes even more spectacular at night as glowing molten lava flows down the flanks of the volcano.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
I hope you're able to get out and enjoy the beautiful sunshine we have out there today. Max sunshine at 12 hours, 36 minutes. We're going to have a lot of cloud cover tomorrow and on Thursday as we track some rain and some snow. Today, we're talking about the warmth. Temperatures are going to be pushing well above average. Forecast high 72. Southerly winds 10 to 20 will gust up to about 25 miles per hour. Here's a look at our sustained wind forecast here. 2 o'clock this afternoon. Wind up around 15 here in the city of Pittsburgh. Winds could be as high as about 20. That's the yellow shaded color you see with those higher gusts. It's the combination of the gusty winds as well as the warm weather and the low relative humidity that will be increasing that fire danger. So outdoor burning is discouraged throughout the day today. I can tell you the winds do come down as we head into this evening. 7 o'clock hour winds right around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, it's 51 degrees. We'll increase the clouds with a southerly wind at 5 to 10 miles miles per hour. I'm not expecting rain to be on our doorstep until we head out the door Wednesday morning for our commute. So 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, we're seeing the rain already here in the city of Pittsburgh. It's going to be coming in from the west. You can see those pockets of moderate rain there showing up in yellow. We're going to need our umbrellas from time to time throughout the day, the afternoon, but I'm not expecting it to be soggy or wet all day long, but we will have some periods of steady, moderate rainfall. You can see that occurring once again at 5 o'clock. Pittsburgh in the yellow and Washington, even a little bit of orange showing up there for the drive home. It's going to be pretty damp. Then we get the cold air coming in here. This is going to change everything over to snow. Yes, we're talking about the 4-letter S word here in the month of March. Pittsburgh, Butler, Katanning, all getting in on the snow at about 10 o'clock in the evening, the way it looks right now. We'll keep you posted. Wednesday's forecast about 55, but that could be a falling temperature as the cold front comes in throughout the day. We'll continue to keep you updated on the timing of that. It could be an earlier day high temperature there. 28 into Thursday morning. 35 in the afternoon. That's it for Thursday. Again, keep in mind temperatures should be in the mid-50s for this time of year. By Friday morning, we're at 22 and up to a high of 42 by the end of the week. 58 Saturday. Your weekend is looking fantastic. Easter Sunday at 66. Lows this week, or this weekend rather, will be in the low to middle 40s as you wake up Sunday and then into Monday morning. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll highlight the rainfall forecast as we head into the middle part of the week.
All right, Danielle, a big automaker offering a deal for drivers, how they can get a discount on insurance. And a message of hate, the online meeting that got way out of hand and has a local university investigating. CMU is investigating after a virtual student debate was crashed by someone using offensive and hateful language. CMU freshman Sarah Abrams witnessed the Zoom bombing last Friday. She told us the Zoom hijacking happened 15 minutes into a student body presidential debate, and the person used racist and homophobic language.
I eventually left because I was definitely a little bit shaken up by the comments. And from what I heard, it did continue after I left. The Zoom meeting did have to end because of these attacks, and we had to remove the person before we could start the event again.
The debate was hosted by CMU's newspaper. They issued a statement saying, "We want to be absolutely clear. Hateful and bigoted speech and sentiments have no place in our organizations, communities, and society." Hyundai is offering drivers a chance to save some money by sharing their driving habits. The automaker is the latest to promote usage-based insurance programs where drivers share behind-the-wheel data in exchange for discounts from insurers. Hyundai drivers can calculate their driving score through a potentially earning behavior-based discounts from insurers. Zele and Opal Council has passed an ordinance banning the sale of alcohol in public places, but not before making some changes. After getting feedback from the community, the borough took out the section that bans alcohol on public streets and sidewalks. This means alcohol can still be served at the borough's open-air market in the summer. Several small businesses started a petition against the ordinance. They believe it would hurt them financially. That ban takes effect immediately.
Sunshine out there right now, but that will not be the case tomorrow. I am tracking that rain, how much I think we're going to see as we head into Wednesday night, and that snow. We'll take a look at that timing coming up.
Who's more vulnerable than a 92-year-old woman stuck in the house?
Her mom stuck at home and having a hard time getting a COVID vaccine. Channel 11 is finding out what's being done to help the homebound.
They are some of the most vulnerable, and they're being overlooked, and nobody is out there advocating on their behalf.
Millions of people in Phase 1A have been vaccinated, but one group feels like they're being left behind in the race to vaccinate. People who can't leave their homes say they are at risk, but no one is helping them. Channel 11's Aaron Martin spoke with a woman trying to bring the vaccine to her 92-year-old mother.
Pennsylvania is working its way through phase 1A, but there are those who qualify who are having difficulty getting the vaccine, those that are homebound. Today, we spoke to a woman who was able to get a vaccine for herself, but is still searching for her 92-year-old mother.
We had caretakers in here, physical therapists taking care of my mother. She's wearing her N95. So the homebound are not living in a vacuum.
With supplies on the rise, Rosemary Gleason wasn't expecting to run into many issues getting her 92-year-old mother a COVID vaccine, especially since she was able to get a first dose for herself 3 weeks ago. But her mother being homebound has made that task nearly impossible.
That every time you look on the internet or you hear on the television, everyone's worried about the most vulnerable. And who's more vulnerable than a 92-year-old woman stuck in the house?
Today we spoke with several vaccine providers, including the Allegheny County Health Department, about vaccinating people who can't leave their homes. While plans and programs are being discussed, nothing is in place at this point.
It appears to be the hole in the donut. It's a totally overlooked group.
Gleason says she's called everyone from the State Department of Health to the Department of Aging, but answers have been hard to come by. Now she's sharing her story publicly with the hope someone can help get her mother the vaccine that remains out of reach.
And I believe Pittsburghers are those kind of people that someone will hear this and say, okay, I'm going to take that on.
Aaron Martin, Channel 11 News.
The Allegheny County Health Department says plans are being discussed to get to people who can't leave their homes, but nothing is in place at this point. Gleason says she reached out to her agency on aging and still can't get a straight answer. Butler Health System says its COVID vaccine supply continues to increase. Our partners at Butler Radio report that the hospital was expecting a steadier shipment of vaccines over the next month. As a result, the hospital has opened more vaccine appointments. Also, starting Monday, the hospital's testing site in Butler is changing hours. The location on Delwood Road will be open from noon to 4 on weekdays. To get a test at the site, you must have an order from your doctor. More COVID cases are turning up at the Westmoreland County Prison. At least 38 inmates have the virus, and they are now being quarantined. Last week, a court order stopped prisoner transports to the courthouse and the district court buildings until further notice.
I did call the police on the police.
Right. And why did you do that?
Because I believe I witnessed a murder.
Another emotional day in the Derek Chauvin trial as witnesses took the stand to talk about what they saw the day George Floyd died. NBC's Jay Gray is in Minneapolis with more on this morning's testimony and what's expected later today.
Hey there, a bit quieter outside the Hennepin County Courthouse today, but inside it seems to be another tense and at times emotional day of testimony. Day 2 in the trial of Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer accused of murder in the death of George Floyd, seen in a cell phone video with his knee across the neck of Floyd for around 9 minutes. Today, one of the witnesses, the day that Floyd died, back on the stand and talking about what happened and his response, calling police.
At some point, did you make a 911 call?
That is correct. I did call the police on the police.
Right. And why did you do that?
Because I believe I witnessed a murder.
Donald Williams emotional as they played that 911 call in the courtroom today. We expect to hear testimony from a handful of people that were very close to George Floyd, including perhaps his now 7-year-old daughter and the mother of his child. It should be another riveting day in the courtroom, the beginning of what's expected to be a trial lasting 3 to 4 weeks here. And that's the latest in Minneapolis. I'm Jay Gray. Back to you now.
A man convicted of killing a teenager more than 40 years ago could soon walk out of prison. Ronald Weiss was sentenced to death for killing Barbara Bruzda in 1978. His conviction was thrown out, though, nearly 3 years ago because of misconduct by the prosecutor. Now, Bruzda's family is worried that he could be released while prosecutors decide whether to try him again. We spoke with him yesterday after a hearing was held for Weiss.
I can't figure out how you can be on death row and now, a couple hours from being let out of jail with nothing.
No decision was made yesterday. Weiss will stay in prison until at least June while the case plays out. The Suez Canal in Egypt is no longer blocked by that massive cargo ship, but it could take weeks before shipping gets back to normal. Even before the ship got stuck last Tuesday, supply chains were stretched to the limits. And now experts worry this is making it more expensive to move goods around the world and causing shortages of everything from exercise bikes to cheese.
It may almost be invisible in certain areas to most people, but what they will see is an increased cost. It's going to be more expensive to haul goods.
Roughly 30% of all global containers move through the Suez Canal each day. Well, temperatures up today, down tomorrow. Meteorologist Danielle Dozier tracking those changes now.
Yeah, Gordon, look at these numbers right now. Already in the lower 60s. Our average high temperature that's typically reached in the late afternoon is 55 degrees for this day. It's 63 in Pittsburgh right now, 64 in Greensburg. Winds are strong. They're gusting up to about 25 miles per hour across most of our area. It's a wind out of the south, which is allowing that nice jump up in the temperatures today. We'll hit a high near 72. And if you're out and about, maybe you want to go for a run later on this evening, 70 degrees. It'll cool off a bit at 8 o'clock to 67, and then the 9 o'clock temperature right there at 66. I am timing out some rain. I'll walk you hour by hour through that forecast. Plus, we'll take a look at how much coming up.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Pennsylvania schools will get nearly $5 billion from the federal relief bill. At least 20% of the money has to be used to address learning loss due to the pandemic. It can include help for underrepresented students, both socially and emotionally. And the rest of the money can be used on things like technology, cleaning supplies, after-school programs, and mental health services. The biggest school district in our region, Pittsburgh Public, will receive more than $100 million. Most schools are looking at between $1 and $5 million. The Community College of Allegheny County is getting ready to resume in-person classes this summer. CCAC has not decided if it will require COVID vaccinations. Online classes will still be available. Meanwhile, other local universities say more people are applying. Duquesne says it received more than 10,000 first-year applications and admitted 8,200 students. Pitt also saw a record number of applicants, but says it's too soon to know what fall enrollment numbers will look like. First National Bank is one step closer to adding a new branch in Oakmont. The company just got approval from the federal government to open a branch on College Avenue. It's expected to open at the end of this year. And while other banks close branches, we told you last week that Chase Bank is also opening 2 more locations. Those will be in Robinson and Irwin.
Baby boy! Baby boy, hide me!
A special reunion, how a local man helped police track down the man that they say stole his dog. And more relief on the way for small businesses. The protection the president is signing off on this afternoon. Small businesses have 2 more months to apply for billions of dollars from a program set up to help during this pandemic. Our Jacqueline Fell has more on the major moves set to happen later today.
The Paycheck Protection Program will be extended until the end of May, giving small business owners a little relief as they scramble to get their applications in this month. The program, set in motion under the Trump administration, was originally set to expire at the end of March. That's tomorrow. Small businesses hit hard by the pandemic can now apply for loans that can be forgiven if the money is used to keep workers on the payroll. The Small Business Administration has made nearly $196 billion in paycheck protection loans since the beginning of the year. There are questions about fraud in the program, though. The Justice Department tells me at least 120 people have been charged with PPP fraud. The cases range from business owners who've inflated their payroll expenses to get larger loans, to serial fraudsters who created fake companies and applied for help. In Washington, Jacqueline Felt, Channel 11 News.
Temperatures are on a roller coaster this week. I'll let you know when high temperatures are going to be dipping down to the 30s after highs today in the 70s.
A dog napping caught on camera inside a local home. How the pet's owner got his dog back and helped police crack the case. A dog stolen from inside a Pittsburgh man's home, and it was caught on camera. This video shows a man entering a home in North Oakland and walking out with the dog. The man who lives there, Lucas Booth, was at a friend's house when he got an alert from his security camera and saw his dog, Alonzo, being taken away. As he searched for his dog, he went inside a nearby business and struck gold. The owner gave him this surveillance video of the suspect driving away with Alonzo. So Booth took it to police, who immediately recognized the man and arrested him. It turns out after being taken, Alonzo escaped and was at the Humane Society, so Booth rushed there and the two were reunited.
Baby boy! Baby boy, hide me! Oh, baby, come here!
Well, you can hear it in his voice. A lot A lot of happiness there. Alonzo found safe, but Lucas has this message for other dog owners.
Having a camera to save my butt, because if I wouldn't have had a camera, I wouldn't have been able to go to the police station. I wouldn't have been able to ID him, and I would have been waiting till today to even get anything done.
Police arrested Edward Robinson and charged him with burglary and theft.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Well, we talked a lot about how today is going to be fantastic, and you're going to want to get out and soak up that sunshine because things are changing. Now, overnight tonight, temperatures are going to be falling down to only 51, and I say only because, yeah, the high temperature should be in the mid-50s for this time of year. So it's going to be one of those weird nights where we really don't get as cold, and the clouds that build in tonight are going to act as a blanket. The winds are going to be coming down out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'm expecting that rain that's going to be around the area as soon as our morning commute tomorrow. So we're talking 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. We could already be seeing rain. So some of our weather impacts are going to be wet roads in the high category, and there could be some pockets of moderate rainfall, even heavy rainfall, especially as we head toward the late afternoon commute. But specifically focusing on the morning, there could be a little bit of ponding on the area roads as well. Now, we talk a little bit about that snow that's coming in with the cold air Wednesday night. I thought I would let you know what we have seen so far this March. It's only been 1/10 of an inch here in the city of Pittsburgh. It is the least snowiest March since 1946 when we picked up a trace, and these records date back to the late 1800s. Here's our storm tracker maps. 5 o'clock hour. Here's the rain in Pittsburgh. A lot of green there showing up. Pockets of moderate rain in yellow. Here's 7 a.m. We're still using our umbrellas. And once the steadiest clears out, I still think we're going to have some scattered showers throughout the day Wednesday, but it shouldn't be raining all day long the way it stands right now. 5 o'clock hour, though, in the afternoon, we do see some more widespread steady rain in the picture. Pittsburgh, Greensburg, Uniontown included. And notice how you're starting to see a little bit of purple and white show up. That's the colder air that's starting to change everything over to snow. By 10 o'clock, our model data has the majority of the area seeing snow, and we'll keep you posted on any amounts as we get a little closer. As far as rainfall totals, though, we have been looking at the potential of 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain before the changeover occurs. Why are we getting snow? Well, we've got this really cold air mass that's coming in from the north as we head into Thursday specifically. Wednesday, we do get a cold front, but the coldest of the air won't arrive, at least in the short term, until Thursday morning. So by Thursday morning, we're having temperatures in the 20s, and the highs are only going to be climbing into the mid-30s. So we go from 72 Tuesday to 55 Wednesday, which could be a falling temperature, to 35 Thursday. And then the coldest of the week is actually Friday at 22, and then 42 Friday. Your Easter is looking fantastic the way it looks right now. We've got plenty of sunshine and a temperature in the morning at 42 and then 66 as we round out that temperature there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Pittsburgh-based Highmark Health has bought the naming rights to an NFL stadium, but it's not in Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Business Times reports that they will put their name on the Buffalo Bills field, making it Highmark Stadium. The Bills were asking for $6 million for the rights. Highmark's name is already the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Stadium at Station Square. Dick's Sporting Goods is making their shopping experience more interactive. The Coriopolis-based company opened a concept store in Rochester, New York. It features a rock climbing wall, indoor wellness spaces, and an outdoor field. The goal is to give customers a hands-on shopping experience with their products, as well as help from fitness experts.
Hey everybody, you know how as soon as the weather turns good, you want to get outside, right? You want to go to the beach, you want to go to the pool, you want to go to the park, you want to take a bike ride, you want to go on vacation, but you want to do all those things and not constantly worry about your valuables. Because if you're at the beach having a great time and somebody steals your wallet, your great time is over. As we know, this is a fabulous idea. It's a company called Aquavault, and this is the FlexSafe and the FlexSafe Mini. Now, when you're at the beach or on a bike or at the park, you can actually just lock this to whatever you want to lock it on, and it's going to keep your valuables safe. There are so many great things built into that, and the most important thing is peace of mind. The gentleman who actually created this, his name is Robert. It came from his own personal experience, and he's here to tell us all about it.
So Aquavault and FlexSafe, they're portable safes. They're easily packable. You can bring with them on any trip.
Gives you a great place to store your valuables when you don't have a pocket or you just can't keep your eyes on them. For example, when you're at the pool, you got your phone, your wallet, your keys. You want to go for a dip in the pool, you got nowhere to put them. Everybody knows that feeling where you're kind of looking back at your chair or you're hiding stuff in your shoes and you're just kind of, just always having that uneasy feeling in your stomach, like, is my stuff going to be there when I get back? And we had those same feelings. The worst could have happened to us when we got our stuff stolen. So now you've got a nice place nice, safe, secure place to put your valuables, and you're trying to, enjoy the amenities of the resort, and just have that much added peace of mind when you're just trying to relax.
Thank you so much, Robert. I love the fact that there are 2 sizes in this, the FlexSafe and the FlexSafe Mini. And then right now on localsteals.com, they're 24 to 30% off. It's the easiest way to save your vacation.
Most doctors advise against Googling medical symptoms, but a lot of us do it anyway. And now there's some new research that suggests it could actually help. Brigham and Women's Hospital did this study. It found that people were more likely to accurately diagnose a loved one's illness after searching for symptoms online. They also said people did not report an uptick in anxiety after searching. One important note, though, the study did not look at diagnosing yourself, just a loved one. A local therapy dog is up for a national award. Penny has been nominated for the American Humane Dog Award. Penny was the first canine advocate in the Allegheny County court system. It's the second consecutive year for the nomination, and there are hundreds of nominees in each category. You can vote for Penny at herodogawards.org. Allegheny County is offering free drive-in movies at 2 of its parks this spring. Movies will be shown weekly at Boyce Park and Settlers Cabin Park. Attendance is on a first-come, first-served basis with capacity of 100 cars. The movies begin this weekend with a showing of Hop, just in time for Easter. We have a schedule on our WPXI News app. And the golf courses at North and South Park open on Thursday. Normal COVID guidelines will have to be followed, And there are some other changes. Officials are asking golfers to use a debit card or a credit card instead of cash if possible. And they want guests to leave flag sticks in the hole so when you're putting, so it can all remain contactless. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Thanks for watching. Our next newscast is tonight at 5. Get out there and enjoy that weather while you can.